The 12 steps are designed to systematically move individuals through the phases of behavioral change required for lasting recovery from addiction. Each step aligns with specific stages while imparting key principles that enable progression to the next level of holistic sobriety. Steps 1, 2, pre-contemplation. These steps guide people from being closed off to even considering change, pre-contemplation, by fostering honesty about their powerlessness over addiction, Step 1, and instilling hope that a solution exists, Step 2, if they trust the recovery process. Step 3, contemplation. Having weighed the costs and benefits, Step 3 represents the critical decision point to commit wholeheartedly to change by surrendering to the helps of others and having the faith required to achieve mental sobriety. Steps 4, 9, preparation and action. This intensive stage lays the groundwork for tangible change. Steps 4, 5 require rigorous self-inventory and vulnerability in admitting wrongs, role identification in those wrongs, and the dismantling of the ego. Steps 6, 7 build an attitude of willingness and humility to let go of shortcomings and work towards change. Finally, Steps 8, 9 move to direct action by compassionately making amends to repair relationships harmed by addiction. Collectively, working these steps allows individuals to progress from mere physical sobriety to emotional sobriety around their feelings, interpersonal sobriety in relating to others, and intrapersonal sobriety in realigning with their authentic values. Steps 10, 12, maintenance and service. Having rebuilt this solid foundation, the final steps promote maintaining spiritual sobriety through vigilant self-discipline, Step 10, and continually seeking ethical enlightenment, Step 11. Ultimately, Step 12 represents the culmination by carrying this message of recovery through selfless service to others still suffering from addiction. The core concept is that the steps must be worked rigorously through introspection and action, not just intellectually acknowledged. Only then can the principles truly be lived as a renewable source of integrity, humility, compassion, and purpose that inoculates against future relapse. Each step strengthens acceptance, accountability, and community, providing the skill-building roadmap to progress through the stages of change from utter blindness to the problem, to contemplating a new vision, to taking ownership and action, to ultimately ingraining recovery as a lifelong ethical practice of growth and service. The 12 steps provide a comprehensive framework for achieving holistic sobriety by systematically guiding individuals through key phases of addiction recovery. Steps 1, 3. Identifying the problem and embracing a solution. This beginning stage focuses on radical acceptance and surrender. Step 1 requires complete honesty in admitting powerlessness over the addiction, seeing it as a chronic brain disease, not a moral failing. Step 2 instills hope by trusting in a possible solution through support and spirituality. Step 3 represents the pivotal decision to turn oneself over to the recovery process through an act of faith and mental commitment. Steps 4, 7. Conducting a moral inventory and becoming willing. Having reached a level of physical sobriety, these steps guide an unflinching self-appraisal. Step 4 takes a moral inventory with rigorous honesty and courage. Step 5 involves admitting wrongs to oneself, a spiritual advisor, or others with integrity and emotional vulnerability. In Step 6, the individual cultivates a new attitude through willingness to let go of shortcomings. Step 7 follows through with humble character removal. Steps 8, 9, making direct amends. These action steps repair interpersonal relationships damaged by addiction. Step 8 is about making a list of those harmed with compassion. Step 9 is the courageous act of directly making amends wherever possible with an attitude of justice, not expectation. Steps 10, 12, maintaining spiritual progress. With the personal inventory and making amends comes interpersonal, emotional, and spiritual sobriety. Step 10 stresses ongoing daily inventory with rigorous honesty. Step 11 focuses on achieving spiritual enlightenment through prayer, meditation, and aligning values, principles. Finally, Step 12 represents the culmination, carrying this message through service to others still suffering. Thoroughly worked all together, the steps provide a cyclical process of self-acceptance, repair, and growth across every domain of one's internal and external life. Each step instills crucial principles and practices that enable total psychosocial healing, allowing the individual to progress from just physical sobriety to achieving emotional sobriety, interpersonal sobriety, intrapersonal sobriety, and ultimately spiritual sobriety through a renewal of ethics and purpose.